Right, so after we got the news, I think we tried to get a pretty core group of guys together just to kind of talk about, where we were at and, how we thought we should move forward just with the team. But, originally it didn't really cross my mind as far as the option of him maybe stepping in. And then as we got together and kind of talked as a group, once that got brought up, that was something that everybody was extremely excited about.
How did you get chosen to say what passed?
I just tried to, I didn't have his number at the time, so I made a contact to get his number. I think that's probably the only reason.
What did you say?
I just asked him, at first I called him and left him a voicemail because I assumed he wouldn't have my number. But then sent him a text just following it up, saying that if I had the opportunity that we would love to talk to him just on behalf of the team. And then he responded from there.
Guys, we got our mics back. Jeff?
Curt, you mentioned after the players got the news. Can you characterize what that meeting was like with Brett and how surprised people were? I imagine some guys heard the news throughout the day, but just what the mood was like in that room.
I think we were very surprised. We had a team meeting the night before where, he kind of ended it by saying that, some things maybe, his name may be brought up with a couple places, but to not make anything of it. So when we got the news that we were going to have a team meeting the next morning really early, we assumed that something probably happened. I wasn't really sure what it was. But once we got there, the news kind of started coming out throughout the day. So we knew once we went into the meeting what it was about ahead of time. But I think people were definitely surprised.
Curt, you said, he basically said, don't make anything of it. Was it a body blow? Did some guys feel betrayed when they found out it was true? How do you react to that?
I think guys were surprised. I definitely wouldn't say betrayed. I mean, that's the name of the game. He has to do whatever's best for him and, pursue whatever he thinks is best for his career. So I definitely understand that.
Jeff?
You mentioned that's the business. He's got to pursue that. But when he says, I'm going somewhere to win a championship, I don't know if you heard what Barry say, that Barry thought you guys were close last year. I mean, as a competitor, do you want to say that can be done here?
It didn't really concern me. I knew he was moving on, so I didn't really put much merit into that. Obviously he's got to say what he's got to say, moving into the position that he's in. So I understand just kind of the scheming behind that.
Andy?
Curt, did any part of you just kind of flash back to this whole season that's been one thing after another for this team and say that this is almost like the final chapter in a weird season and in things that you've had to deal with?
I hadn't really thought much about it, to be honest. I think for us, it couldn't be a better opportunity to have Coach Alvarez step in here, somebody who's had success on this stage, and for him to be able to lead us and kind of show us how this needs to be done. So it's something that I think guys are extremely excited to play for him. He's somebody that guys can definitely rally around.
Curt, do you think much will change in the day-to-day preparation under Barry and just getting ready for the Rose Bowl?
I wouldn't think so. Obviously, I've never been coached by him, so I can't speak to that. But I'd say it's business as usual. He's definitely a no-nonsense kind of guy. So I'm just excited to get a chance to work with him.
How much contact do you guys as players have with him on a daily basis?
Not
How
very
well do you know him?
Yeah, I think he's involved in a lot of the players' recruiting process. Obviously, growing up, followed his coaching career, and he's somebody, this is the house that he built. So, I know when I was being recruited, that was something big for me, was to get a chance to meet with him and sit down with him and my family. And he's around a good bit. He's somebody that definitely has a presence about him, and you're aware whenever he's there. He's always on the sideline. But just to have the opportunity to be coached by a Rose Bowl Hall of Fame coach is something that we're all extremely excited about. If you'd have told me when I was younger that I'd have a chance to play for Coach Alvarez in the Rose Bowl, I couldn't ask for a more awesome opportunity.
Curt, could you just expand on his presence and perhaps how different it is than Brett's?
I wouldn't necessarily go into any differences. That's a tough question. But I think just, the respect that he demands by having success in that type of situation is something that we're all extremely excited about. Obviously, he's never lost a Rose Bowl. So I'm kind of hoping that he can shed some light on that for us, because we've had some struggles with that the past couple of years. But it's an awesome opportunity, like I said.
Curt, this group kind of seems to thrive on resiliency, bouncing back, us against the world, chip on the shoulder. What is it going to be like to take that field at the Rose Bowl. What are you guys thinking now as a team as you go out there?
Right, it's an awesome opportunity. Obviously, initially, guys were surprised, like I said, but I don't think there could be any more motivation at this point. Having a chance to be coached by him, and obviously Stanford's going to be ranked higher than we are. That's something that we've thrived on all season long, and it's an awesome opportunity.
Curt, in your mind, is the turmoil of this week going to impact your chances of winning the Rose Bowl?
I don't think so at all. If anything, I think it gives us a better chance to win the Rose Bowl. Obviously, he knows the formula for success there, and just. It would have been business as usual for us if this wouldn't happen, obviously. But, it gives guys a chance to really rally around him and to have something even extra to play for.
Got time for two more, anybody?
Curt, have you imagined what it's going to be like to have Barry lead you guys out on that field?
I'm just excited for the opportunity. I haven't really thought that much in advance. We haven't got a chance to really meet with him yet. That's something that I'm really looking forward to, and just having the opportunity to play for him and the success that he's had, and to try to give him one more it's awesome.
Curt, it was characterized over the weekend that this Rose Bowl matchup is an embarrassment to the Big Ten because of 5 losses by Wisconsin and the fact that perhaps Stanford deserves a better matchup. Do you have a response to that?
I think, I would have thought that, we silenced a lot of that after the way that we handled the Big Ten championship game, and definitely showed that we deserved to be there. I don't really care as far as the talking goes. I'm excited for the opportunity. We didn't make the rules at the beginning of the season. We just made the most opportunity that was in front of us, and we're definitely going to try to make the most of this opportunity as well.
All right, real last one, Jeff.
Curt, you mentioned that you don't think the turmoil of this week will have a negative effect, and in fact, you think it'll have a positive effect. Can you expand on that, why you think this team will be able to thrive under those circumstances?
Right. I think this is a very resilient group that we have. All season long, we've dealt with some difficult circumstances from guys getting hurt. For example, just the overtime games that we've had. I think we bounced back really well from that. Obviously, this is something that we didn't expect, but just the type of coach, obviously with Coach Alvarez stepping in here, is something that guys are extremely excited about. It just gives guys a little bit extra motivation, whether that is because they think, they might have had somebody bail on them, something like that, whatever your personal opinion is, just provides a little bit of extra motivation to go out there and take care of it.
All right, thanks, everybody.